What's up, gang? All right, it's another moment of truth type of day, but it's been a very productive one at that. Matty Boyd is back, the man himself. Yeah. All right, it's been super productive. Matty has set up the throttle link completely different. This actually looks like the way it's supposed to be now, which is great. And when we go wide open, the butterfly valves are all the way open, which is a huge improvement for the 75% that we had before. We've done a leak down test. We've set it at 15%, wasn't it, Matty?
15%.
Yeah, lovely.
Yep.
We even readjusted some things here because Matt noticed that this I mean, what would you call it there? Yeah, the linkage there was actually clashing with the
it's just hitting on the end of these nozzle line, so
right.
We've adjusted that back so it all opens properly, doesn't hit anything.
So yes, has been a very productive morning. And this isn't new, but I've taken the heel raiser out, so I'm going to get that a play. And yeah, reset the height here. Yeah, leak down test, everything is pretty spick and span. So Matt reckons that the reason the Teltac's not showing any life is because it needs some actual signal from the cam sensor. It didn't used to need it, but you know, there is a new box in there. Maybe that's got something to do with it, but it's now time to hook up the starter. And I personally can't think of a reason why this thing won't start now, so fingers crossed, let's get it going. All right, gang, update. We actually had some success getting some methanol to the first three, the front three lines. These back two here from the intake manifold, they seem to be, you know, not wanting it as much. And instead of waiting for the engine to kick over and, like, you know, forcibly sucking it, we're actually going to force it all the way through with this little drill bit here that Matt's going to adjust to attach to the pump. So we're going to force it through.
You can see what I'm doing.
All right, gang, it is, what day is it, Keith? Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I had a breakthrough moment last night and figured out why the timing wasn't working. I think I know why the timing wasn't working out for the car, and I'll go through that with you a bit later if this works. Keith came straight from work. Thank you, Keith. I'm shitting bricks, guys, because my eggs are all in this basket. If it doesn't fire now, I'm not sure what'll make it. So, all right, let's open up the fuel taps and let's do this. As to why it's not firing, but again, like, it's why is it like clogging up here? it is, gang. You heard it run for the first time since January. There's tears, but there's happy ones. It honestly, it didn't feel like it was ever going to happen. And just thank you so much to everyone who's contributed and helped out. And Simon, you know, made it happen. Ben's helped us out when he can, and yeah, I'm just so thankful and appreciative to have the support and the friends that I do have, because this doesn't happen, you know, without them. So that was really cool to hear that. So we're on the right track. What's up, gang? Alright, you'll be seeing this at the end of the video, but this is a bit of a wrap up of the day and the week that led up to it. So Monday I had the day off of work because I had a couple of wisdom teeth taken out, and still to this day they're in a great deal of discomfort and pain, so you have to forgive me if I'm a little bit slurred or you know, just mumbling my words a little bit, because they're still in a lot of pain. Monday I had the day off work. Matt Boyd come around with his starter, and we did knock off a few things. It was absolutely not a waste of a day. But like, you know, like the throttle linkage, for example, is all set up beautifully now, and a few other things which I've since forgotten. There was a list there for sure. But the car wouldn't start. We had our suspicions as to why. Then I started to reach out on Facebook and Instagram through the week for everybody's input. And just kind of take it all on board. Everybody has their opinions and what they think is the problem, and so I tried to take it all on board and was ready to pursue any of the leads that I was given. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we started, and Friday, I think Friday as well. Just about every single day this week we tried to start the car. Ben or Keith or both would meet me here when I rolled in from work, and we would get to work straight away. And every time we tried to start the car, we would try something different. But unfortunately, no matter what we did, we always had the same results: a cough, a splutter, but no real spark. So it was very confusing. It was very disheartening. So I knew that today, Sunday, was going to be a really big, important day. And Simon saved the day. Simon, he is my saving grace, honestly. I don't know what I would do without that guy. He showed up, took a look at the wiring, and saw something that just didn't seem right to him. So he stripped all the wiring back to the bare minimum, spent a few hours you know, putting it sort of back to like where he thought it should be to make it work. And sure enough, we found life. So it's yeah, it was a wiring issue after all that, which was actually a great relief for me personally, because it meant that everything that I had purchased over the off season, like the new harness, the new box, what else is new on here, the new sensors and everything, all the new electrics that I put on the car were not faulty. They do actually work, which is a huge relief, because I have heard some horror stories about things like sensors and boxes and things showing up and they're faulty out of the box, which I didn't think that there was a universe in which that would happen. So yeah, like wiring, Simon redid it, and sure enough, we have life now. So it didn't run perfectly. Cylinders 2 and 8 were running very cold, so we're going to be investigating that this week, because we are hoping to race on Friday. Yeah, we'll be looking into that when Simon comes back during the week, to not only clean up the wiring and also wire up the tack again, because he just disconnected that to just to strip everything back. But yeah, so we'll be looking into why cylinders 2 and 4 were a little bit cold. And we also had some methanol leaking out of some of the breathers on the injectors, which is interesting. But yeah, we did actually try to start it one more time before Simon left, but that sprint car savvy people will know that the sprint cars are synchronized, right? So everything works off of the drive shaft and works off of RPM. So The kind of an issue that we face when we're starting this particular car is that the starter can only rotate that drive shaft at about 1500 RPMs. And when it does that, it will only turn the fuel pump so much. And the fuel pump, which feeds from the pump, which is just above the drive shaft between my feet, through this line here and into this little fuel manifold. And this little fuel manifold has these lines that then go down to the top sear injectors. And because it's only rotating at about 1500 RPM, it's not actually able to really fill this little rectangular manifold here, and the fuel tends to pull and favor these two bottom lines, which in my case lead down to the bottom two front bores, which was why these two were always getting drowned, and the back two cylinders were often very dry. So we're very confident that with a good push from like a good push truck, then that will fix the issue, because the drive shaft is turning a lot quicker, the RPMs are high, which means the fuel pump is turning a lot quicker, which means more fuel is coming from this line into this manifold and distributing the fuel evenly. So we're not at all disheartened about the fact that it didn't start one more time. But what we are going to do next time is we're actually going to start with the ignition on. When we start to turn the car over with the starter, in hopes that it will spark the fuel that gets put into those first two cylinders and start the firing process. So yeah, look, it's all rambly garbage at this point, but I can't tell you how relieving and exciting and happy like I was to hear this car run for the first time. So like I said, it didn't run perfectly. You could hear that little bit of a tick, which was those two cylinders not quite firing the same as the rest of them. I've reached out to the previous owner, Ian. He's already responded to me. I just haven't had a chance to read it yet. So originally I was going to ask where he got these injectors so I could potentially replace them. But I believe from what I saw from the notification, he already has some ideas as to why they wouldn't be maybe sparking the same, and has a potential solution for that issue. So yeah, looking, I'm not sure. I didn't really script anything for this. I never do, but I feel like I'm kind of rambling at this point, so I'm just going to riff off some very, very well deserved thanks. The first person I've got to start with is Matt Boyd. He's given me a lot of time in the last month or so. He's been trying very, very hard to get this car started, and to try and help me get back on the track and be ready for our first run of the Motorplex. And again, if he doesn't leave this starter with us, today doesn't happen. We probably wouldn't make it to the show on Friday. We wouldn't hear the car running. A lot of this stuff doesn't happen without him. So thank you very much to Matt Boyd. Thank you to everybody who responded and reached out to the Instagram and the Facebook post this week with what they thought the issues were. Ultimately, kind of nobody was right in a weird way. Not to say that everybody was wrong, but it turns out the issue just wasn't where anyone thought that it would be, and that's partially my fault because I deflected a few of the people that were actually on the right track because I was very confident that there wasn't going to be the issue. Turns out it was, but that's okay. I'm not here to slander anybody or anything like that. That's just how the cookies crumbled in this particular case. Obviously, Simon. Without his expertise, again, the car doesn't start today, and we would have wasted a whole day changing and fixing and trying things that would not have worked. He really saved our bacon today because we had this whole plan lined up for today. We were gonna test the spark plugs. We were going to change the leads, change the coils, which I actually have a set that I were ready to change over thanks to the Waldrons, Amy and Jody Waldron. Thank you very much for those coils and leads. We ended up needing them, but thank you very much for loaning them to me. But it all would have been for naught. Changing more sensors and changing old sensors, changing out boxes and harnesses, it would have all been for nothing because it would not have fixed what turned out to be the base issue. So Simon, I love that man so much. He's one of my best friends that I didn't have a sprint car. This wasn't a thing when we first met, but I'm so glad that he has the expertise that he does because he's really helped me out these last 12 months, and I'd be very lost without him. So thank you very much to Ben for his help and his time and his expertise. Keith, both Ben and Keith were at my house after work a few times this week trying to get this thing to go. I know that I'm going to make a silly mistake and forget someone super important. But if I have forgotten you, I am very sorry. But please take my word for it. Your contributions have not been unnoticed. Oh, thank you so much to Park and Print for their support and being currently the only sponsor on the car. But one's better than none. So I'll be reaching out to them tonight, giving them dimensions and things for the new stickers for the car, so the car will look a little bit different. Thank you so much to the Diamond Dogs. All this stuff that I listed off before, the box, the harness, the sensors, everything. I couldn't afford any of those things without everybody's contributions. So I owe everything to Park and Print and the Diamond Dogs. This off season would not have looked the same without everybody's contributions. So thank you all so much for that. Their names are always at the end of the videos, and their names will be going on the hood panel, which is currently not on the car, but every Diamond Dog's name will be here on the car. So if you'd like to become a Diamond Dog, go to rainleesamotorsport.bigcartel.com. Starting at $50, you can get your personal name on the car and a members only sticker, which have not been designed yet, but I'm working on those. So yeah, gang, I've been dribbling for nearly 10 minutes now, so I'm not. My jaw is absolutely killing me, so I'm not really sure what else to tell you right now, except for that I'm just so happy and so relieved and very optimistic now that I've heard the car run for the first time in a very long time. My optimism is at an all-time high, and I'm ready to sort of attack the oncoming stuff with a little bit more positivity and enthusiasm, because I know the car runs now. So yeah, look, I can't speak for too much longer because it feels like my bottom jaw is about to fall off. But yeah, gang, super stoked to get to this point. Friday night, the Motorplex is now very much a possibility. I'm not going to tell you it's a guarantee, but it's very much a possibility. So we'll hope to see you there. Thanks for checking it out. Appreciate it. Till next time. Bye for now.